All right, welcome into today's Patriots training camp recap brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. Alex Barth, Scott Zolak after the Patriots wrapped up their 7th training camp practice of the summer. No pads today, back into shells.
Right.
Focus on red zone work for the first time this summer, and that combination seemed to work for Drake Maye. Let's start there. I don't know about a full bounce back day, but definitely took a step forward on Thursday, made a couple of nice throws in the red zone, had one off platform to KJ Osborne for a touchdown, a couple of dots, one to the Michael Petway, another to Juju Smith-Schuster that Smith-Schuster dropped, but it was still a good throw. I think you have to be encouraged by what you saw from Drake Maye
I thought
today.
the one throw, and I even Louth said it stood out, was that it was almost that no look where it's like a shoulder shake just to get the safety to sit a certain way.
That was the one to Osborne at the end.
Off balance there, to KJ.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to end that drill. And he sort of needs to build that now. He's had a tough couple days. They're overloading him with a lot of stuff. So it's the thought of, I'm handling a lot of stuff. So right now he needs to start building stuff off that. People want to see him start to take that jump. But I think now you get 6-7 days into it with guys out there in pads, you get used to your receivers. So you're going to have better areas to throw the ball. And it was hot as shit out there today.
Yeah.
I mean, pardon my French, but like that was hot. We could say that on YouTube, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
All right. I won't say the bad stuff.
All right. That works. No, I thought it was a good day. And the interesting thing is usually for a young quarterback, red zone's tougher because everything's happening quicker. There's less room. And look, there was no pads, so maybe that helped. And to your point about stacking days, now do it again when the pads come on. But I think it, not just the day he had, but the context in which he had it is notable.
And our cover guys are pretty damn good. So they've seen all the formations. They understand the balance of some routes. Where do you want to flood? Where you want to pick? Where you want to drag? So there's no threat of the deep ball too. So you sit on everything and you're able to jump routes. So that's going to be good work for him moving forward.
Yeah, one of them, he beat Marcus Jones, who's been one of their best players in camp. So good day today for Drake Maye. Any thoughts on Jacoby Brissett?
It's just steady again. Again, the most pro-ready guy out there. That's what I see when I watch all 4 guys play. The offense seems like it's fit for Jacoby right now. And, once Drake starts to play, I'm sure they'll open things up and sort of curtail it to him. But, Van Pelt's looking at it as like, I got to build an offense right now to get Jacoby ready to play in a couple weeks. And there's a game 7 days from now.
Talk about the receivers. Those young receivers continue to stand out. Javon Baker was uncoverable today. Jalen Polk used the word steady. I think he fits.
I thought I don't want to say popped a little bit today, but for whatever reason, he wasn't in some of the team stuff early in camp. But now you're starting to see the stuff he can use over the middle of the field, just a little quick slants in that. That's going to be his forte. And the more reps these kids get, it spells doom and gloom, I think, more for the veterans that are trying to make this club.
All right, you mentioned those veterans.
Yeah.
Another rough day for Juju Smith-Schuster. Seems like he's due for about a drop a day at this point. He's not creating a ton of separation. What happens with him? How does this end? How much time can you realistically give him? Forget the regular season. We can get to that. But even in the preseason, how much time do you give him to work through this when you've got these young players you need to develop?
That's the problem. And the more plays the young players make, it's going to make the older guys expendable because you're going to look at it. You're going to have to eat money here. I don't think that they're going to keep him on the roster. I really don't.
About
I think Juju.
Yeah.
I think you're to the point now where you're not going to get anything for him. Can you get a 5? Can you get 6? You're not holding that hope out. I think you've got to understand that if he's on this roster, he's going to take reps away from Baker, and I can't have that. That's why I want Drake to play earlier than later. Is to get him with the young guys. Let these guys grow and find their niche. Jamar Chase. He was with Burrow in college. These guys, you get used to playing with each other instead of just totally inundate them with another new set of receivers. So I know they got to rotate guys through and all that, but Tyquan Thornton, he makes a catch or two. He opens your eyes because he does have that speed. I know Jacoby read blitz on that one team period, hit him backside in that slant. He creased it. That could be his type of route, but he's got to do that in games to stay.
So Tyquan Thornton's been like sneaky good, not even sneaky anymore to start camp, but he's been impressive and he's done it with the pads on. He beat Christian Gonzalez twice today in one-on-ones. He had that catch in red zone team. And I think you look at it, your 2 rookies are roster locks.
Right.
Bourne, assuming he's healthy, he's a lock. Pop Douglas. I think KJ Osborne, just because he seems like a guy the coaching staff's invested in, he had a better day today too. He's on. So you're looking at Tyquan Thornton, Juju Smith-Schuster, Jalen Reagor for that last wide receiver spot. And Tyquan Thornton has separated himself from that group and pretty convincingly so far.
Yeah, that's the one thing. You need him to make plays to make the team. And the one thing, if you have Tyquan Thornton come out here making plays, then you got to start feeding him a little bit more because you got to find out right away. This isn't, we can keep him as the 5th or 6th, and the thing he has going for him, cats have 9 lives. He's a second-round pick. First-rounders and second-rounders are always going to get more opportunities over guys who are picked up later free agents.
But, of course, he has to stay healthy is the caveat on all
Sure.
this. His first 2 NFL seasons, he's opened on IR. Again, this Patriots training camp recap's brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. Anything else on the offense before we go to the big defensive story of the day?
Just the rotation of the lines. It's just they're going to have to pick 5 and settle with it. It was good to have David Andrews back today. I know he missed the last 2 days dealing with a couple things. And it's good. You're going to figure out, are we going to keep Owenu and City So in at guard and figure out who the hell is going to play tackle for this football team? Darian Lowe getting more reps on the left side today. I mean, it's something every other day with these guys.
All right, let's talk about the defense.
Yep.
Matthew Judon back on the practice field. Gerard Mayo told reporters before practice that the 2 sides are moving forward. They had a meeting. Don't know what that means contract-wise, but he was out there. He participated. Now it was a non-padded practice. Tomorrow will be very interesting, assuming we think the pads come back on. But last time we were on, so we were talking about what's the path to Judon coming back. He came back, at least for today. Now what?
See, that's the thing. Is it about an extension talk for 2 or 3 years, which I don't think it is. If I'm the team, I give him a little bit of direction because I thought it was telling what Mayo said today about Godchaw. He's in our plans for the future. There's a lot of ball. He's a big part of what we're going to do and what we want to do here. That's a guy you want to stick around. I had no clue they felt that strongly about him.
Yeah.
I know Bill did. Now I didn't know if the carryover would be there. I guess it is with Mayo because he's your only nose tackle.
I think some of the things
not having Barmore helps,
I think some of the things too with Godchaw that people don't see, big time locker room presence. He's an important voice in that locker room.
And I would say that Judon's part of that too. But if I'm being fair to him as a 32-year-old, hey, you weren't here for 75% of plays last year. We're good to talk to you and your camp about giving you a little more of a bump this year. The long range, you're probably not in our plans. Just be fair and honest to him.
So again, he was back out here today.
I think he got sent home the other day, by the way.
Judon?
Yeah, I think he got sent out of the building.
Yeah, and I think that was the report that he was in the facility, and that made sense. But now we see
they didn't publicly state it, but from people I talked to, it feels like he got sent away.
It feels like every day, there's going to be what did Matthew Judon do? What happened is going to be a story. Does that just fade away, or is this going to be a thing unless they give him a contract? And even into the regular season, could this be a thing unless they give him a contract?
I don't know how you could do this every week, and I don't know how he could do it every week. Because if this really truly bugged him, and you're sitting here, you got to look at it. Am I not in the circle of trust? Because they just took care of another guy in Peppers. I think he knew probably going to take care of Godjown, especially with Barmore being down. You understand that. But Jesus, Peppers got taken care of 3 for 30 this week. Where's mine at? And you're going to constantly ask that. And the more wear and tear you give to your body, they get a little more deep into the year. Say you're losing, that thing can fester. You got to be careful with that one.
This Patriots training camp recap is brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. One more note on the defense. We're starting to see Isaiah Bolden get more involved at corner. Marcellus Dial get more involved in corner. There's just so many pieces in that secondary moving around. Has anybody stood out to you in that group?
It's hard to tell. Marcus Jones, I think he's having a fantastic camp, like you mentioned. We spoke with Jonathan Jones today. He's a steady Eddie guy. Gonzalez is getting beat here and there. That's something to watch, because that guy hasn't played a lot of football too. So as much as you're going to be on Judon about not playing 75%, we missed that guy for 75% of his rookie year when it was trending well. Looked like he was defensive rookie of the year.
What are you looking for tomorrow?
Well, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, Barth. So I'm going to be on the beach somewhere.
What should we be looking for tomorrow?
What you should be looking for is progress by May.
Okay.
He needs to start stringing some days together, and especially the 11-on-11 stuff. I won't put too much stock in the one-on-ones. That stuff's easy pickings.
Sure.
But the team reps, and let's see where it goes from there.
For more on today's practice, by the way, we got more kicker reps today. 98.5thesportshub.com. Myself, Matt Dolph.
My kid almost got killed by a ball. He was eating lunch down there on the picnic tables, and a ball landed on his table.
I don't know what they're kicking 15-yard field goals with people back there. I've seen this. You got to have your head on a swivel. But they have been making most of their field goals, which is progress from where they were at a year ago. So
let's see in games.
A little more coverage on that, more on the kickers and everything else at 98.5thesportshub.com. I will be back tomorrow with TBD. So
have fun.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous, man. Enjoy the beach. Tune in if you can. And make sure you at home subscribe on the Sports Hub YouTube channel. If you caught it on Twitter today, you can follow us as well for more of these training camp recap videos and all other things Patriots and Boston sports. So until the next one, again, this update brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. He's Scott Zolak. I'm Alex Park.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.